Fight fans. Fight fans. Fight fans. Finally. Finally, we get the fight that we've all been waiting for. Well, a fight that we all been waiting for. You know, it's getting ready to go down April 22nd. Tank versus King Ra. It's going to be a crazy, crazy night. It's going to be a star-studded night. We already know that. Tank bring him out by himself. But add Ryan fans to the mix. There's going to be some record-breaking numbers in this one for sure. There's definitely going to be some record-breaking numbers in this one. All I'm saying is don't miss it. Don't miss it. I'm going to give y'all some real keys to victory for both fighters and tell you what I think, in my opinion, in my boxing expertise, on how the fight might play out, you know. Now, we're going to do some pros and cons as well, so, for both fighters and what they should and shouldn't do, in my opinion. We could start with Ryan. Ryan pros, hella, super fast. Super fast. And he got power. And to those who don't know, speed is power. For those, you know, don't have that one punch knockout power, but speed is power, because you get hit with some shit you don't see, it's going to add some power to it because you can't brace yourself for it. So either way it go, he got power. But power doesn't always win fights. But the pros for Ryan is he got the range, he got the reach, he got the footwork. Because if he can just stay away from Tank, he has to do it for 12 rounds. He has to stay away from Tank for 12 rounds. You can't just say, I'm going to stay away from him early, you know, because Tank ain't going to get tired. You got to stay away from him from 12 rounds. Pick his shots from the outside. Make sure he go to the head and body. You know, use the left hook, but don't use it too much to where Tank start reading and timing it. Because he already know that's your money. That's your money shot. And if he notice, he looking for it. And he might set traps to get you to throw it. You got to be careful, Ryan. But just use the range, your footwork, and you got to get out of there. And if you could outpoint him and stay away from him, you probably can pull it off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, knockout would look sweet, but you don't want to get knocked out trying to get one yourself. So if I was you, I'd play it safe. Pop shot, pick your shots, try to point him out, stay away from him, make him miss, make him pay, and keep the fight at a distance. And don't let your back touch the ropes. Keep it in the center of the ring. And those are the keys that I think you got to pulling off the fight. You know what I'm saying? Those are your pros. If you could do that for 12 rounds, I mean, and it's best to try to gas Tank out early. Try to gas him out. Go to the body early. You know what I'm saying? Go to the body early. Try to take some of that power away, at least for the later rounds. You know what I'm saying? That way you have a better chance and you can start using your range and your footwork more, because everything starts to slow down as the fighters get fatigued. So I think that'll be a good strategy for you. You know, and just, it's going to take something. Now, Ryan's cons. Ryan's cons is you can't always go for the left hand. You know what I'm saying? And everybody talking about your left hand. You got a nice left hand, right? You got a nice left hand. You got a nice left hand. But y'all, let's be for real for a minute. Y'all acting like this boy left hand is like Deontay's Wilder right hand. It's not the same. It's a good shot. Don't get me wrong. It's a good shot. It's quick. It's good. But it's not a Deontay Wilder's right hand, and y'all blowing this shit up like it's like it's it's like y'all blowing this shit up like that nigga been sleeping. Everybody been in the ring with it. It's like it's not like Deontay's, man. Y'all cut that shit out. But you're gonna have to stop doing that, Rod. Quit relying on the one punch thing. Use your speed, you know what I'm saying? Go up and down. Take that elevator. And another thing that you gotta work on too, that I hope you have to pick that up way back fights ago. But you leave your head straight in the air all the time. That's an easy target for a nigga like Tank. He used to punching up. That's why he had so many problems with Cruz. And that's how he hurt his hand, because he hit him in the top of the head. But he's used to punching up. So, when you keep your head up in the air, and you can't come midpoint, because then you eye to eye with him. And if you get any lower, it's going to take you time to come back up when you come back up, and he can catch you coming up, if y'all know what I mean. So it's based, it's hard to say, man. It's like you got but yeah. And then your chin. You leave your head up in the air, and then your chin is kind of suspect. And you're going in there with a man who's gifted in both hands. It's going to be tough, Ryan. Those are your cons, man. This is going to be tough for you. And you flat-footed. You really ain't on your toes. And I don't think you fought nobody as quick and powerful as Tank. And I don't think Tank has fought nobody who is rangy and quick as powerful as you. But he fought somebody that's about your height with Barrios. But again, he's used to punching up. So you got to look at that Barrios fight and see what he did well and what he didn't do well. But Barrios kept him at bay with the jab. What I'm telling you to do, stay the distance. But the question is, can you sustain that for 12 rounds? That's the problem with Tank. Can you hold that shit together for 12 rounds? Once fatigue set in, legs get tired, arms get weary, sweat start building up in your hands from the gloves, making the gloves heavy. See, fighters know about that real shit. All that shit plays a part. Blocking shots, wear your arms down. But you still got to have them in shape to protect yourself. So if you can't do that for 12 rounds, it's going to cause some issues. Now we go to Tank. Tank pros are athleticism, power, speed, and just the right to just walk through motherfuckers and just go at it. And he got some whiskers. He got a chin. He got a jaw. He been hit with some shit. He got a jaw. But the determination and the hunger that he got, it precedes him to walk through that and withstand that shit. Because he like, I know you hit me, but if I touch you, I know what's going to happen next. So his determination to get you out over succeeds. His ability to just try to, you know, to take your shit. But if you watch the fights, all his fights, he know when to do that with and who not to do that with. That's why he was down with Barrios in the first half of the fight. Because he didn't want to take a chance. He's a bigger fighter, never been to 140 before. He didn't want to get made look. He played cautious. And the same thing he did with Rolly. Collected that data, see what he did good, see what he did wrong. But Rolly's wide open anyway. But, you know, he wasn't tight enough and got clipped, trying to press him against the ropes. But he does what he does. He knows when to go through some shit and take some shit. Now, with Leo Santa Cruz, he felt he can eat his shit. That's why he ate a lot of shit till he got what he wanted to get off. And that was that uppercut. You know what I'm saying? So he knows who to play with power and who not to play with power. He knows. You know what I'm saying? So the boy just ring IQ, chin. I mean, I really don't see no flaws in him. But every fighter has them. But let's see. He yeah. He's an all-around fighter, man. You got to give it to him. He's an all-around fighter. I mean, and everybody talking this shit about how he ain't fight nobody, and everybody looking at the Devin Haney's. Look, man, sometimes them guys don't want to fight you because they want to enjoy their success that they have in their own path. But fighting a guy like Tank, I mean, come on, let's be real. We see what he did to Garcia. He didn't knock him out, but the nigga didn't come back out. Talking about he couldn't see. When you knocking a nigga vision, rattling this shit, a nigga vision that bad to where he can't see, but his eye ain't swole or nothing like that. You just hit this. That's basically a motherfucker concussion. You just ain't out on your feet. So, I mean, the power is crazy. You know, and Tank been in there with sparring with other guys, bigger guys, heavyweights and shit like that, man. He been in there with some big boys. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be something. But now the cons for Tank is don't be overconfident. Don't be overconfident. Don't go in there angry. Don't go in there like Darrell against Caleb Plant and like Benavidez is about to do. I'm going to make a video about that shit too. But don't go in there with this anger and get caught with some shit like Darrell. Because anger can be your biggest enemy. Not the opponent across the ring from you, but anger can be your biggest enemy. Biggest. Think about how I played a part with Holyfield and Tyson. You know what I'm saying? Frustration set in. Tyson didn't have, he just bit the nigga ear. Because he was mad. He was, you know, but you gotta have control anger, especially in the fight game. You gotta know when to let some out, keep some in. Let some out, keep some in. You gotta know when to turn it on and off. You know? You can't just go through a whole fight mad. Because for once, it's going to make you tighten up and you get tired quicker. Then you start leaving yourself acceptable to shots that you normally would see coming, block them or move out the way. And by the time the damage is done, I mean, in the later rounds, it's like, you know, you kind of, you know, ain't no gas stations in that ring, as they used to say. You zap yourself out early. Now, the other half of the fight, you playing survival or catch up, or you might need a knockout to win. So you got to be careful. Don't go in there angry. Don't go in there overconfident. Take this man serious, you know. And everybody's saying this is the fight that's going to change the game. And I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit. This is the fight that's going to change the game, but I really think the reason the fight is don't get me wrong, the fight is going to be a big fight overall anyway. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's going to be a big fight overall anyway. But I personally think the fact that the Errol Spence fight and the Terrence Crawford fight didn't get made, I think it kind of put more emphasis on this fight, because we was all waiting on a super fight for damn near a year or so. Well, years. Yeah, years, because they supposed to fight years. So years with these two fighters, Spence and Crawford, and it never happened. So the boxing world, the fight world in general, not just boxing, MMA too, everybody in general was clamoring for that fight. They was waiting on this fight to happen. Their mouths was wet. Their mouths watering, right? Waiting on the fight to happen. You know what I'm saying? And they just drug it along. And so I think a lot of fans, fight fans, hardcore and casuals, kind of got like boxing. Boxing on some bullshit. It's getting too political. It's getting too this. It's getting too that. Everything's about money, 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 money. What happened to motherfuckers who want to fight for legacy, just showing the world that they was the best, you know? And that's what we have gotten away from with the sport of boxing. Everybody wants to talk the money game, you know. Floyd did a lot for the game, you know what I'm saying? Made it all about the money and this and that and that, and the fighters are now finding out their true worth and their true potential and what they're worth. And they becoming businessmen and boxers, you know. They want to be in charge of their career. And like they say, there's no pension plan. There's nothing wrong with money, but don't let money stop legacy is all I'm saying. Because you're not going to be remembered in this game for how much money you made. You're going to be remembered for what you did in that motherfucking ring. And that's legacy shit. You think Ali is known for how much money he made in boxing? No. They know what he stood for in those times and things that he did, and a man of his word and his beliefs. But he's not known for how much money he made. He's known for his legacy in and out the ring. And that's why he's called the greatest. Floyd's called TBE because he's the best to ever do it. And what they mean by that is, like, he broke all kind of records. You know what I'm saying? So he's the best in that era of doing that, of pulling in a draw. So that's TBE, the best ever to do it and come out still, you know, on top with his faculties and still in good health. So they got their own eras and how they did things, but the boxers want to be more businessmen than boxers to kind of mess up the game, and that's where we don't get to see the fights that we want to see, because nobody's not fighting for legacy no more. They're fighting for the bag, which is nothing wrong with that. But in the same time, realize that you're killing the sport when these guys price themselves out, and you know, you lose fans on shit like that. Be for real. It's like Terrence Crawford actually had a motherfucking backup plan. If you got a backup plan, what that says to me and my intelligence is that, okay, you really wasn't planning to fight this motherfucker anyway. You know what I'm saying? You was building up that hype for your next fight because you knew you wasn't fighting him. But now they want to see how you look in this fight. So if you would have fought him, it's all game, man. It's all game. But that's the breakdown with me, with King Ra and the Tank. Peace. Holla.